Alrighty, so here we have the Imex Katana, the Imex Shogun, and they also have one called the Imex Ninja. They're all pretty much the same car. Well, not pretty much, they're exactly the same car. And then they also have the redcat Volcano 16, where all of these parts are sourced from, that I'll be showing you here today. We'll be upgrading this car so I can show you exactly how I did everything. But this one right here is already completely upgraded. As you can see, the body's been through hell. But here we go. I'll show it off. Here we have a radio link 400 meter receiver, Gruel or Cool RC, however you say it, 60 amp ESC, Super Hobbies 2445 5400 kV motor. It can handle 3S LiPo, stock servo, upgraded CVDs, upgraded diff, so it's a metal diff, upgraded drive shaft, spur gear, rear diff. It's got the rear metal dog bones, and I have redcat shocks from one of their 118 scales. And we also have the dog bones. As you can see, this one is broken. It's one of the mods that's going to get done today is new cups, because this cup over here broke. But other than that, we should get it started. Oh, and this one has a little fan that I custom fitted on there. I have one too. I'll be showing you that here today too. So I'll be showing you exactly how to install a new motor, how to do your diffs with the upgrade kit, new CVDs, the drive shaft, which is the hardest part because I had to figure that out and there's nothing out for it. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to help a lot of people out with that. But alrighty, let's get to work. Let's move this beauty out of the way. Let's leave her in the background. And we'll get started on an extremely stock Shogun. As you can see, this is the factory 2435 motor, and the 24 is the diameter across the face, and the 35 is the length. So as I said, in this one's the 2445, so as you know, it's 10 millimeters longer. So this one actually has more torque, because on the motor that will be going in this car will be this one. Let me grab my trusty box of ESCs and motors. This is just a box of goodness here. So yeah, we're gonna put this ESC, which is a 35 amp ESC, with well, it looks like I let my friend borrow the motor, so we'll be putting it back together with the factory motor, but I'll still show you the process so you can know exactly how it's done. But yeah, I forgot that I let him borrow that. But the motor looks exactly the same. It's just red, and it's a 4800 kV versus this one, which is a 3900 kV. This motor factory on 2S will get you about 28 miles an hour, 27, 28. On 3S, it'll get you 35 easy, 36 maybe. And then this car right here, because I can't keep the front down and I keep having problems with screws coming loose. Oh yeah, pro tip, lock tight everything. With all these new metal things, lock tight. So that's one of the things that will be happening to this one, is lock tight, and so will this one be lock tight. So I'll have 4-wheel drive all the time instead of second run in it converts to rear-wheel drive on its own, and the pinion gear just drops down into the bottom of the case. No damage, it's just rear-wheel drive and wheelie happy. But all right, let's get started. Let's open up some of these packages. So you can see exactly what we have here. So these will be the front CVDs. Front CVDs for the front axles. We have already tried to run these in the rear. They're a smidgen too long, so you have to get use the dog bones with the outer cups, and I'll show you the outer cups here in a second. These are the outer cups. As you can see, I got 2 packs for this. The last piece I need for this one, and an upgrade for this one. So this will be the back half of your axles right here. So you put these on and use the metal dog bones. So let's do that. I already know what I'm doing because I've already done it once, so that's why it doesn't matter that I just throw parts out, because I know exactly what I'm doing. But for everyone else, I suggest you do this one at a time. So I guess we'll take the front apart first. If you use power tools or anything like that, just make sure your torque's turned down low so you don't strip things. Yes, we'll be getting rid of those screws, thank God for that. Set those to the side. And when you put the new CVs on with the pin, the original little blocks, easiest way I found to get these out is just use your screw, poke it to the side, and push. It comes out usually on the second try. But these will fit right onto the pins, so you don't have to worry about replacing those. But you can use upgrade to metal, 12mm hubs, and it'll look nice. So next, you're gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws off. First, you're gonna pull this forward, and then you're gonna take these 2 screws right here for the control arms off, and those are gonna reveal the back 2 screws that you need to get to too. So oh my Lord. She's being very stubborn. That screw doesn't want to come out. Neither does that one. Alright, we're going old fashioned, boys. Find my screwdriver. There it is. Because my drill doesn't want to cooperate. So yeah, I've taken my car apart so many times, fixing things and going in and out with it. I got this down to a science at this point. You can hear them shocks, and it's one of the things I hate about this car. Supposedly they're supposed to come with oil-filled shocks, but that was a lie. But the haiboxing, the redcat volcano, that's where all the parts are being sourced from, is the redcat volcano. So anybody with a redcat volcano, this is how you upgrade that car also. Alrighty, got all of that. See, and this is what I was saying. Now you just pull this forward, Just unscrew these. And they just pull out. Well, once you got them unscrewed far enough, they just pull out. Wow, it's being really stubborn right now. There it is. That's one. Let's see if the other one will let go. Wow. They're really being stubborn right now. Just because it's fresh and hasn't ever been taken out, unlike the other one. That's why it's being stubborn. But there you go, the control arms. You could just set them to the side. Boom. And then, like I was saying, back here, there's 2 more screws. And then you just take these screws out here. And like I said earlier, don't forget to take your shocks loose. Because I'm used to not having to take it all the way out because I'm usually just putting the pinion back on, so. But since you're actually servicing the diff and everything and going the full shebang, it'll probably be easier to just take it completely off. Plus I gotta replace the shocks anyway, so boom, it just pops right off. Just be careful of the clip right here for your servo. In my opinion, this is a good little servo, so there's no reason to replace it. If you want to, go for it. But the car doesn't weigh anything, so it doesn't necessarily need no turning power, and it's not like it has huge wheels, so yeah. But this is your differential. As you can see, it's all plastic. And then these CVDs, all you're gonna do is just get them, and push, but just make sure you don't do like I did and throw everything everywhere. Luckily, everything stayed right here. Alrighty, so now that we got the diff out, the easiest way I found is a little 1.5, because it's got a slim tip, and then you just take the cup, push. Now if it doesn't come out easy one way, try the other way, because on one side of it, it has these little, it's like rough, so it'll grip. See, there you go. See how it's like bird? I don't know if y'all be able to see that. But you can see it's like right here it's rough. Yeah, you probably can't see that, but it's rough on one side, so if it doesn't come out easy one way, push the opposite way. And then the little cup just pops right off. There we go. Boom. Take the bearings off. And there's 4 screws. You undo those. There it is, just pops off. Alright, so you do want to take these screws all the way out because you're going to be reusing them with the metal gear. But you just take that, just push and grab it and it falls right out. You can either keep this shim or reuse it, but the kit does come with new shims, so yeah. But this little plastic ring, one of the things that I had to figure out on my own, it comes out. Be careful, don't break it, but find you a corner. If you got something that's like nice and flat, the better. There you go. Once you get one corner up, you just kind of walk it. Just be careful, man. There it is. Oh, ha. Still got screws holding on to it. No wonder it was fighting me so hard. Remember I was saying take the screws all the way out? Take the screws all the way out. There she is. So we're just reusing the screws. The plastic ring gear, we don't need that no more. Yep, all these pins, you can reuse them, but all these little rods, you can set those to the side. And this is how this goes. Like, just give it a little push, they pop out. All the plastic spider gears. All the gears. Just boom. There we go. So the only thing we're reusing are the 4 screws and the case and this ring, because this is the centering ring. Because what that does is it presses on the rods for the spider gears to keep them centered. So if you look in there, you can see that's one of the spots right there. It sits right there and there. But with the new kit, how it's made is it only uses 1 set instead of 2 sets of spider gears. See, there you go. So this will be your new ring gear right here. And this bad boy sits in it. And this is what I was saying, you have to reuse your screws. Just for this. But hold off on putting that on. I just wanted to give you a little glimpse of why that ring was important. another kit over here. There it is. That's where this kit comes into play. These are the outer cups. This is so everything can be metal, so you have no weak points. Snapping axles like this axle. That's why the wheel just spins. Versus these 3 spin. So what you do is take you a bearing, put you the cup in. Then you take one of the washers, set that bad boy on top, grab you a pin, put that in. It can be rather tricky. You have to hold your mouth right, like my father always says. There it is. Make sure it's centered. Keep smacking the camera. And then you take this bad boy, as you can see, it's slotted. Boom. Then this one is plastic ring. Make sure the flat end, where everything is even, goes down. Because like I said earlier, these slots is for where the spider gears go, so you can hold them in place and in center. So just flip this. Toss your screws in it. Now, the only thing that I can say is be careful with this screw when you're going in. Make sure you have a screwdriver that fits pretty exact, because you have to make that screw go past this bearing, which can be a little fun. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see, it gets kind of close to that bearing. You see how the bearing's twisting? Make sure that screw's exact, because it's not like the original. The original has a pin so you can put the cup on afterwards. In this situation, you can't put the cup on afterwards. You have to put the cup on first. And booyah. I'm just doing that to hold those in the spot. Now, this is the fun part right here. If you do not have an Allen head small enough to take this screw out, putting this bottom pin is a pain in the butt, okay? As I did not have one, so I shaved the pin down with my grinder a little bit, just to make it where it can go onto the corner right here and you can twist it and wedge it in there. But I recommend just getting the right size Allen head for it, because this makes this a cakewalk. It has to be like a 1.0. That's the only thing, like, because this thing is tiny. There we go. So let's take that little screw out. Be careful, make sure you don't lose that, because you don't need that. This plays a very important role. And you're going to do the same thing you did to this side. Put the cup through. Well, don't forget your bearing. I almost forgot that part. Boom. Because you need that bearing so the joker can spin. Alright, so take your shim. Boom, shims in. Let me take this bad boy, put it through the hole here, And as you can see, it can be fun, especially with magnetic tips like how I have, because it'd be trying to fight you. Give it a little wiggle. Booyah. And magnifique. We got it. Then we take this bad boy. Toss it down there. Boom. See, there she is. Then we take this. Make sure it's flush. Now that's back in there. Boom. So now we have our two halves. And that's where these little tiny spider gears come into play. That long rod that comes with the kit, this will be the longest one. You're gonna take that and you're gonna put the gears facing each other. Like this. And you're gonna set that across here. Just like so. Because you can't do a crossbar like this in here, so they just utilize one. And just like I was saying, these little tabs lock in, so that keeps everything centered. So let's get back to work. So I'm gonna take this 60K diff fluid and pop that bad boy open. Give it a nice little squirt. Boom. Now that I have my diff fluid in there. And then just pop all the pieces together. Boom. Snaps right together. And just screw all the screws together. Remember, like I said, make sure you have a good screwdriver. Sealed. Let's work some of that grease around. Oh yeah. This diff should live a long and happy life. Alrighty. So now that I showed you how to do the diff, you repeat this exact same process for the rear. Okay, and it's the exact same way to take the rear off. You know what? I'm just going to show you how to take the rear off. Can't say I didn't show y'all everything. I like the front. All the screws are accessible. And it's the same. It's on the front. And before you rear the front first, these are not in front here. And make sure you keep up the screws. And if you have a wheelie bar and you don't know how to install it, you would take 1, 2, 3, 4 screws off here, and then you would take the 2 back screws off here, and that back bumper that it comes with slides off. Slide this on and repeat process, or reverse process. Alrighty. Don't forget those shock towers, and then she's ready to come off. And off comes the rear. Just like that. If you want, you can do just like how you did the rear. Front control arms. If you want to take the bulkhead completely off, it's the exact same way. Just slide them out. When they're fresh, they're a little fun to get out. Come on, don't send stuff flying everywhere. There you go. That wasn't too bad. And there's the rear bulkhead. So I'm saying the front and the rear, they pretty much look identical. This is how you tell the difference. Alrighty, so from here it shows how the motor mount is. Motor mount's really simple. Look, you just pop. It just pops right on out. See, we're gonna reuse this motor, but we're gonna just give it more power, so it should be faster. And we'll go ahead and just remove this receiver out too, since I'm here. It's just held on with double-sided tape. It's really strong double-sided tape. There it is. Oh, and don't forget to unplug your servo. See, if you're not doing like me and upgrading ESC, you don't have to worry about all this. You don't even have to pull this out. Everything else pops out right around it. As you can see, drive shaft slides right out. Front pinion, it's right here. Set that to the side because you don't need it. See, I'm upgrading everything, so I don't need this button. If I wanted to, I could actually wire this button in and solder it in, and that would be pretty cool. I might actually do that. So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna solder that button in, just so it can be like factory feel, you know, especially with me having a smaller ESC, I know I can make everything fit with no problems. Remove some of this double-sided tape. But as I told you earlier, repeat process with the rear diff. One important thing that I need to point out to make sure that everybody knows: make sure your diff orientation is the same when you start it. Put your mark on whichever side so you know which way they go, because you got to make sure that they're both spinning the same way. Because if you put these diffs in facing the same way, then they'll go opposite of each other and just break everything. So, yeah, but both diffs are done. So go ahead and slide the motor mount back in there. Take this button and snip that up. Put that into the box. Put all the other ESCs. Alrighty, so next I'm going to show you how to put the drive shaft together. And you have to put the drive shaft and the spur together, and the diffs, because they have pieces in each one that needs them. That's how they get you. So front and rear diffs and drive shaft with the spur have to be replaced all in one go if that breaks. But here's the spur. Make sure when you order the spur to order you a new 14 tooth, because if you don't order a new spur, this one is like glued in unless you have a heat gun that works really well and you know for a fact that you can get that screw out. You will damage it and it's a nightmare. Ask me how I know. So, drive shaft time. Go. More screws, more pins, I know. So, this little bugger right here was really fun to figure out how it goes. It took me a second, but what you do is take this one and you see the big side of the spur. You put that bad boy in there and you snap it in. It took me a whole day to figure that out because I knew something extra was supposed to go and I didn't know exactly what, but I eventually figured it out. Alrighty, and then we're going to take that pin and you're going to slide it through the hole. I say this, it can be a pain in the butt. Just be patient because it is fun. And make sure you use the longer one in the back because the short one's for the front of the shaft when you put the new front pinion on. But if you don't cuss, this will make you start. There we go. Whew. It's a bit of a tight fit, so be careful. There you go. And what you want it to do is sit flush with that. The reason why is you're going to take this spur, you're going to slide the rod out. You're going to take these bearings. And they're going to slide that bad boy right on around it. So now this one's locked in. And you don't have to worry about that bad boy coming out. And it's attached to your spur. And then that extra gear that came with your differential, that's where that comes into play. Slide it onto the tip there. Take your screw. And this is where the Loctite comes in. Make sure you Loctite your screws. Don't be an idiot like me. Even when you crank them, they still come undone. So be weary. But take that bad boy. You slide it right on in there. Oh, sorry. Jump the gun. The other bearing. It slides right on top of that piece. And then you slide that bad boy right on in. And see, this one goes to the motor. That goes to the diff. All metal. We get in there. Now take the front drive shaft, the rest of the drive shaft, and then you're gonna take the front pinion gear. I'll slide both of these bearings off. There we go. Those are those two. And what you do is the same as you did the rear. Slide this into the cup. Take the shorter pin of the two, and you're gonna slide that short pin in there. Because the rod's skinny, so it has to sit flush because of the bearings. Use the other side to help you guide it. But there you go. See how it's flush? Then you take these two bearings. And you just slide them on. Alright, you can let them fall. It'll be alright. For while you're doing this. Then you take that other half from the other diff kit. Like I was saying, you have to do both diff kits. And you slide that bad boy on. Then you use the screw that came with the kit, wherever it is. There it is. Boom. Tighten that real tight. Take them two bearings, slide them up. What you're doing is from here, you're gonna slide the T in into, make sure this is straight up and down. That's the easiest way. Slide that in. Could be a little fun. Oh, my smart behind. Almost forgot. If you want to do things difficult, just slide it in. Or if you want to take the time to just unscrew the arm, that also works. With me, I like things difficult, so I'm going to take this route. And then as you can see, the bearings just fall into place. Well, sort of. Come on. And one bearing being stubborn. There we go. Let's try that again. Boom. Bearing one, bearing two. Boom. Differential. Boom. Now for the test. They're both going forward. Make sure you know which way your dips are going before you put this stuff back together. Alrighty. So now that I got that and that, we're gonna go ahead and grease everything. So I'm gonna take a little of the 60K and I'll put it right here. Boom. Take a little more of that 60K. And I'll put it right here. Boom. This is how you make sure things stay happy and lubricated. And I don't know if you're supposed to do this. And if you want to follow suit, by all means. But I put some on my gear too. Because I want everything smooth as butter. So that's just my preference. Then you take front case, slap that bad boy back on. There it is. The front bumper was in my way. You just slide everything back on. Boom. And And just like that, she's back together. Take all your screws. CVDs in real quick before forget. I'll get your bearing off the old one. Boom. Brand new CVD. Slide the new bearing on. Boom. Take this. Wow. Yeah, it just flung that off. It went under here somewhere. There it is. Can't believe it just flung it off like that. And boom. First axle in, take your long screw, slide that bad boy in there. There it is. Now for the other side, see if I can get this one out without sending everything flying everywhere. Alright, so pull doesn't work. Looks like I'm pushing again. This time I'm gonna hold on to it. There we go. Boom. New bearing. Yep, front bearing still there. Just push that joker in. Voila. There we go. There it is. I think I got the rear end. It's supposed to poke out to the other side and it's not. Yep, I definitely have a rear end. Yep, that's definitely longer. So be conscious of the front and rear. The rears are shorter. Boom. Never had them out at the same time. Didn't know that. There we go. Oop. Wishful thinking. Alrighty. Front bearing came out. There we go. That bad boy in there. So front CVDs are done. Let's go ahead and do the rear, then we'll do the shocks. So same thing. I'll pop these bad boys out, which can be fun. That's one. There it is. Okay, that was a spur. That wasn't that important. Let's go. Take the old dog bones, get those ready. There it is. Brand new outer cups to complete the set. Ooh. Oh, it's coming together. Come on, where is it? There it is. Where's the other cup? There it is. There it is. Well, so much for that. It just fell out. Let's put the last two screws in. That's 3, I should say. I still gotta put one over here. There it is. Man. It's looking like a car again. Let's do these shocks. See, my next real upgrade is gonna be power tools. I have a crap ton of power tools because I'm a mechanic, but they're big tools, nothing small for this. Because all this wrist twisting is getting on my nerves. There we go. Getting really close. You can see I already tossed a few things on, put the ESC in, just some double-sided tape, capacitor, the on switches right here, receiver, new fan motor to keep the motor cool, and a 3S. Because that 3S, it pushed this little choker, you know, so you gotta keep them temps down. But now, let's toss the shocks on. I'm just going to show you how to do one, and then, you know, just repeat processing the rest. Yeah, these are nice. Is that their oil filled? Let's see if they're oil filled from the jump. Or do I have to put my own? But just look at that, oil filled from the jump. Wasn't expecting that. So, this bad boy's oil filled already. I like that. Okay. And it came with new screws. That's awesome. Now these jokers are fun to press in. What I do is I just put them on the edge of the table and push. Boom, see? And they snap right in. But this bad boy's an oil field, so I don't really have to show you much. We just gotta install them. Boom. But yeah, like I said, let's stick one on, and y'all just repeat process for the rest. So I'm gonna go for the most inside holes on the bottom at the top, and then the most outside hole on the bottom, because I want it to be as short as possible, because I need this joker to be close to the ground, because in the future this joker will be doing speed runs, and having the car too tall is just gonna help pick it up at high speeds, meaning the wheelies become easier. Because with this car over here, the wheelies in this thing are ridiculous. Let's finish this up. Alright, there's one shock in. Man, that looks nice. And then let's grab one of these pins, so we can do these axles real quick, finish those up. Like I said, I'm just going to show you one. Y'all repeat process for the rest. Booyah. Booyah. Take one of these bad boys. See which one don't have one in it already. There we go. Tell me that's not nice. Take one of your nuts, screw that bad boy on. Did the pin come out? I think my pin came out when I put the wheel on. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was wondering, I'm like, why do I have no tension? Alright, well, let's turn this bad boy sideways so it don't fall when I try to put the wheel on. There we go. There it is. First wheels on. So here she is. Finally got her complete, all together. All wheels are on, fans installed, new ESC, receivers in. Like I said, I kept the servo stock. 3S, all the shocks are in. This is the best the car has ever felt. Alright, let's fire her up. Make sure I got the right receiver here. Yeah, everything seems to be zeroed out. I'm using a radio link, the RC4GS, and matching receiver. But oh, she's on. Man, listen to how you can't even hear the fan. That's quiet. Oh man, this joker's quiet. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's alive. Here, let's toss the body on real quick and give her a spin around the living room. Should I make a little hole for her at the top? Yeah, let's do that. Use this one. There we go. A little hole for the antenna. Everything else fits right into the body. Boom. Boom. Put some clips on her. And then tomorrow I'll post up some videos of her and the Katana over there doing speed runs. And I don't know if anybody caught this earlier, but got a little mini GPS that we can strap on. So yeah, but let's give her a go. Let's see. Oh man, those feel great. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. As you can see, the car is plenty powerful. I say it's gonna be right. Yeah, I can't wait to see speed runs on this bad boy. And then once my friend gives me back my 4800 kV motor, it's really gonna be fast. But I appreciate everybody for watching. Y'all have a great day.